drop flows. Bar gets raised up. It's me and Petey Pablo.
Yo, yo, what's good? What's good? I I'm back. It's another episode of Sports and Spoilers. Okay, so we're back again, and I just saw Avengers this weekend. So you know it's got to be podcast time. It's going to be podcast time. We're going to talk about what we saw, what we watched. Oh man, just thinking about it right now is getting me excited again. The build up, the anticipation. 11 years led to this, and it was amazing. They did a phenomenal job. These movies aren't just solely about the fighting, right? But that's the thing. The fighting is fucking amazing. The scenes are always like really great, really well done. Um, but that's not the only thing that makes these great. It is the other things, the other nuggets that get tied in, the emotional connections that you build with the characters and the deeper stories and the struggles they went through and watching them become who they are now from the beginning to this point. Like I said, 11 years. It's been a journey. That is the appropriate word for all of us. Um, And yes, journey is the appropriate word because that's exactly what it was, taking us from the beginning in 2008 all the way to the end now in 2019. And apparently, right, this is just another phase. There's going to be more, of course, because there's got to be more Doctor Strange, and we already know about Spider-Man coming. Black Panther needs to come out with some more, and I don't know how long they're going to continue to do this, but I'm all for it. I'm all in. Take my money. You can have it, okay? Marvel everything, and that's why. And when I say Marvel everything, I like really mean it. I think the only thing I haven't watched Marvel is Agent Carter, and I need to go back and watch that, and I will go back and watch that. Don't get it twisted. As far as everything else, even like that show Inhumans that didn't do too well, I watched every episode. I was going to give it a chance to win me over. Maybe it was going to get better in the second season, but it didn't get that opportunity. But I still watch Cloak and Dagger. I still watch Marvel Agents of Shield. What's the other one? What's the other one? Marvel Runaways. I watched that as well. The Gifted. Watched that. Of course, had to watch the Punisher and Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, The Defenders every season. Every single one. I love it all, except for the Inhumans. I guess I'm not the only one. So, but with that being said, let's talk more about the movie. Um, the emotional connections that we're able to develop with these characters is something like none other. I feel because of how many movies they were all in. When you really count up everything, all the different appearances, even when you see a small appearance from Tony Stark in Homecoming, even though he's not in there a ton, you just see him and you're like, "Hey, that's my guy." You know what I'm saying? What's good, Tony? That's my guy. And that's basically how that goes in terms of building upon the relationship and almost rapport that you feel you have with a character in the cinematic universe. Um, First, I want to address a couple of things that bother me. Right, one of the things that I hear from a lot of people is that they think Vision went out like a bitch. Okay, they think Vision went out like a bitch, and I have a problem with that wording. Okay, Hulk went out like a bitch. Okay, Vision was sabotage. Vision was fucking sabotage. And they had one of the children of Thanos at the end of Infinity Wars talking shit to Vision because he's like, I thought you were going to be more formidable. That made me mad because you snuck up behind him. And as great as Vision is at sensing things, even around him in his vicinity, things away from him, he couldn't sense them. He couldn't sense them clearly because they snuck up behind him, and you stabbed him with some magical blade that prevented him from healing the entire movie. Because he's supposed to be able to self heal, self repair. But whatever fucking blade you stabbed him with prevented him from doing that, so we never got a chance to see Vision get down and do his thing. That's I don't blame Vision for that. You know, I don't blame Vision for that. The Hulk, that's different. The Hulk went out like a bitch, and the Hulk in this movie, it was funny seeing him be the Hulk and Bruce Banner. I was about to say David Banner and Bruce Banner right at the same time. It was like funny and everything, but after a while, you like, hey, I do want to see the Hulk like smash something. That's the whole thing with the Hulk. Why everybody loves him because he's a fucking problem, and we didn't get that. The only time we really got something where it looks like he might get out there was when they made the trip in time back to New York when the Battle of New York was happening. And they're like, Hulk smashed some things, and he's like, oh, I feel like it's gratuitous at this point. And he just kind of lifts a couple of the things and pushes a couple things over, and he's like faking it. And, it's like, okay, ha ha ha. Excuse me. But hey, can can I actually get you to do something like Hulk like, please? Even in that last battle, it's not like you saw him a ton do much of anything. I really don't remember him fighting. Um, I really don't. I don't remember him fighting. I remember him holding up a building. That was important because we didn't want them. We didn't want anybody to get crushed down there. But hey, hey, uh, just one person. The dude, right? The big one that I think they said they used to be called the Black Dwarf, but they didn't call him that. And this one of the children of Thanos, the big strong one. Let me see a one on one with him. I didn't need to see a Thanos fight again. I don't care about that. You don't need to redeem yourself in that regard. I saw enough the first time when Hulk fought Thanos to know that I don't need to see the Hulk fight Thanos again. You can talk about, he can join in and jump people, but usually when the Hulk starts fighting, it's so destructive and it's so powerful that him and that person move so much that it just essentially becomes a one on one. So there isn't really much jumping when it comes to jumping with the Hulk. You can jump the Hulk, but jumping people with the Hulk doesn't usually work out, because it's like it turns into a fair one, even though with most people it's unfair. And the Hulk's advantage, in this case, the advantage goes to Thanos because the way that in the beginning of Infinity Wars, he just systematically broke him down. First of all, he caught his arm and just pulled it back, okay? To just overpower a Hulk like that, hey, that's red flag number one. And then I take that back. Red flag number one is taking the beating he was taking in the first place and then getting up. Red flag number two is him grabbing your arm, pulling it back, and just letting you know that you're not as strong as you think. Red flag number three is when he hit you in the throat and made you go. Okay, I've never heard the Hulk make that sound. Have you? Okay, he like broke him down. It wasn't just like swinging for the fences. He's like face shots, throat shots, body shots. He just folded him. And so no, I didn't need to see a rematch of that. I was okay with that, but that entire army that was out there, he could have fought someone there. That'd have been great. I don't feel like that there is enough Captain Marvel in the movie, and I say that understanding something essential. Captain Marvel couldn't be in the movie as far as doing a whole bunch of the fighting because Captain Marvel is way too fucking strong for that. Captain Marvel would wash everybody way too easily. They'd win every fight without much resistance at all because Captain Marvel was fucking ridiculous. Um, so when it came to the fight scenes, she showed up with enough, but she still could have been in it more just for like banter back and forth. It was more of a even though it was more of a somber mood throughout the movie a lot of the time because the stakes were so high. So I guess there wasn't a ton. I guess that's something I have to take into account, right? As I'm working through it now, trying to be fair. I would love to have seen um, Captain Marvel and Tony just go back and forth talking shit, or her and Thor just kind of shooting the shit, and her character and personality mixed with the personality of the team. But understanding the situation, there wasn't really a lot of time and feeling for that. That's not why we were here. It was like we're on a mission the whole time. So I guess I can understand that part of it as well once I really think about it. But still, it's just like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But we still expect to. I know I do expect to get more Brie Larson as Captain Marvel in the future. So because I really like her in that role, despite what a few people think, not big fans of it. I don't know why. I love her. I think she does great. I love her personality, her little smugness and shit. When she talks her shit, I dig. I dig a lot. Some of the things that I loved was like pretty much everything. Pretty much everything. Fight scenes that we had in the movie were really good. I loved the going back in time and things taking a twist because, as we know, and it seems like we're seeing a lot more time travel involved in movies and television. Like right now, it seems like an influx. It's always been there, of course, but it seems like there's a really good influx of it going on right now. I watch a lot of TV and things. So, like, for me, I feel like I keep seeing things having to do with time travel. I love the way they did it in this movie. It was awesome. Definitely did not see the Nebula connection thing coming to bite him in the ass. That was great to put that in there because yes, like she was built by Thanos and her circuitry is tied into a network that's connected and linked to Thanos' ship. So she comes and like that circuitry is still gonna that was great. I wouldn't think of that. I wouldn't think of that. That was a great little twist. Um, the lead up to the big fight scene at the end was perfect. I didn't quite know how Thanos was going to manipulate the time travel when he came across Pym's particles. But for him to bring the whole ship through the army, oh, ooh, that was crucial. Though I'm going to need somebody to hear them when they come crashing through with the ship and break through the ceiling of the structure of the compound. I'm sure that made a lot of noise, but I guess it was such a big compound. Maybe they're like on another side of it already, and so they could hear. I don't know. I don't know. I thought they should have heard that. Um, do you realize that when he came through and when he fired the first shot, starting the last battle at the end, that battle lasted for about 29 minutes. 29 minutes. Because I was sure watching that like, my this fight is long and crazy. It's bananas. How long has this fight been going on? Like it was, I was caught up, And when I get excited, when I don't know what it is. I know I can't be the only one because no one's the only one for anything, pretty much, right? But I get I get chills whether I'm listening to music, watching something on TV that I think is dope as hell, right? Moves me. I get chills. And I got so many chills while watching those scenes, those fight scenes at the end. It was like back to back to back to a constant state of chill, which is usually my personality in the first place. Your boy be chilling. I'm a chill guy. But that's not the type of chill I'm talking about. You already know that. Uh, when Scarlet Witch jumped out, right, like I was just saying, the fight scenes were so long. There was so much going on that when they brought everyone back and you saw everyone, you knew they were back, obviously, and everyone was fighting. But I allow myself to get so caught up that I'm watching scene to scene and I'm not thinking about much else. So I forgot about Scarlet Witch being there in the first place and her beef, her personal beef with Thanos. And when she jumped in front of that motherfucker, like, hey, it's I'm about to get in your ass. You know what I'm saying? You know, you took everything from me. And he's like, I don't even know you, which was great, by the way. And she was like, well, you about to. Uh, Now, you know, he had no idea. We believe him. We know where he came from. He didn't know Scarlet Witch at that point. But we knew Scarlet. But we knew Scarlet. And when she started going in, boy, I thought that was about to be it. He called for help so fast. He called for help. Like she was stripping the armor off him. Like, I was like, is she about to like strip him naked or something? You just gonna embarrass this dude? What's going on here? Right? It was ridiculous. He couldn't move. He could only move his mouth to say, hey, rain fire, I need help. Fuck these other motherfuckers. I need help. Now help me. I'm your boss. Uh, so he had to cheat to get away from Scarlet Witch because she was putting that thing on him. Doctor Strange, despite how cool Scarlet's powers are, aesthetically, the way it looks when Doctor Strange gets down, all the different things that he can do, still the dopest to me. Still the dopest powers. I want to see more. I want to see more Doctor Strange getting down and using his powers to fight and all the different things he can do. Um, the Ancient One, I love her too. I'm so glad they brought her back in this, and I will not be opposed to them finding ways to bring her back in the future because I love the Ancient One. I think she's cool as hell. um, all that wisdom. You know what I'm saying? It does feel like you see that wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I like agree with everything she does. Oh, she was using, the dark magic to keep herself alive, and she lied about it. I'm like, she must have had a good reason. I ride with the ancient one. You know what I'm saying? Doctor Strange is my guy, and he was upset, and I ride for the good doctor, but. The ancient one is cool as hell. And that little astral projection move she does to knock you out your body. Oh, disrespectful at the same time. Don't knock me out of my Hulk body into my human astral projection form and then have a conversation with me. You know, I mean, I know. Yeah, it was disrespectful, is all. That's all I'm trying to say. Um, the children of Thanos, the children of Thanos are amazing, I think, and like that they're all kind of different, but they're all like really big and just they look like problems, like they're supposed to. Sometimes you get henchmen that look like henchmen. These dudes look like they might be bosses in some other world. You know what I'm saying? Even this the dude Ebony Maw, he is clearly the dopest one, at least to me. All of them got skills. Even the woman one, the blue girl. I can't remember her name right now. But she got skills. She was big as hell, and when she was giving it to Black Widow and Denai, and I can't remember Denai's Wakandan name, but she was giving it to both of them in Infinity War a little bit until Wanda with the magic, and at the time it's over. But Ebony Maw is the dopest. His powers are the dopest. He be talking that shit and that smooth upper echelon I'm that shit, and you really can't fuck with us. So just accept that these are the circumstances that are put in front of you. Respect it, consider it an honor, and bow the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of attitude that Ebony Maw brings to the table with his abilities. And I want to see him and Doctor Strange, as Doctor Strange has grown more, go at it again. You know, I do. I want to see him go at it again. Yeah, that one wasn't as lopsided as Thanos versus the Hulk, even though Maul had him wrapped up. Um, let's see. My favorite part of the movie, and this is a part that I haven't really seen anyone talk about. My favorite part of the movie was the part when he was fighting, Thanos was fighting Captain Marvel at the end, right? Towards the end of the fight, and it shows a next level ability and craftiness to have the presence of mind to when you're getting overwhelmed like he was at that time. Remember, this is after he had got her off the first time. She came back like, okay, I underestimated you a little bit, but now I'm about to flex on your ass. Right? She started leveling up on him. And she's got the gauntlet, the hand he's got the gauntlet in, and he can't do nothing. And he's like on a knee. And he tries to hit her, and she just eats it and looks at him like, is that it? And for him to have the presence of mind to rip out and one of those Infinity Stones, like, fuck this gauntlet, because I can't do anything like this anyway. So all the stones together in this hand isn't going to mean shit if I can't move my fucking hand. So let me rip out one of the stones, absorb its energy, and clock her. But you know what I'm saying? And she goes flying. That was like my favorite part, right? Because it's that next level mind of a tactician when it comes to fighting. We know he's an intelligent person or intelligent being, and not a person. He's a goddamn alien, but he's an intelligent being. Although the conclusions he comes to from the things he sees are extreme and terroristic by nature, but like he's still an intelligent being. And we do that part, and we know that he's a titan and he's strong as hell and he can fight. But to be a tactician too on the battlefield and that way have the presence of mind, that's a crafty move. That's a vet move. You know what I'm saying? And I loved that part. That was like my favorite part out of many, many amazing, great parts, right? Because I was about to think it was about to be over right there. Captain Marvel had a hold of him. You know, it's about to be a wrap now. All right, good job, Thanos. It had already been a long fight up to that point. Speaking of Captain Marvel and Thanos, the part where they're trying to get the glove into the time machine in the van, right, the portal, and everybody's playing, you know, just passing it off, right, hot potato, passing it off and trying to get it to the van. And they get it to Captain Marvel, and she's flying towards the van. And you know she flies fast. She's just ridiculous. And Thanos tries to get in her way, and she knocks him out of the way, like, nah, bro, stop. You can't stop me. How much velocity, how much strength do you have to have for him to get knocked down like that, get back up, take his weapon, and launch it with so much strength and velocity that it reached the motherfucking van right before Captain Marvel got there to fuck it up? That part was dope as hell too. That part was dope as hell too. I was like, oh my god, this fucking guy, he won't stop. He's so he's so damn smart. He's so damn smart. The lead up just for, you know, all the movies from the beginning when we first started hearing about somebody at the top pulling strings in the first Avengers with Loki, and you know we hear his name here and there, right? If you watched Shield, Agents of Shield, the last season, there is a lot going on to where they were hinting towards a war coming to the Earth, led by a fucking Titan who's going to be a problem. Like even in the show, like they were talking about this. Like, hey, so it was a huge lead up for the introduction of Thanos. So when we met him, he was clearly a problem. It was perfect. He's a perfect villain, right? Like I'm picking him against almost anybody in villain history. You know, it just and I'll have to do a list of that nature. But I'm telling you, Thanos will probably be number one because he was a ridiculous and absurd problem that just felt insurmountable. He actually accomplished that first goal and disappeared half of the entire universe. These dudes usually never actually accomplish a goal that large. They'll get small little victories here and there, and it'll end up getting foiled before their big plan comes to fruition. But no, not Thanos. He succeeded. He succeeded in going up against the Avengers. Now he was whooping them, all of them, even without that the gauntlet in this fight. Good thing Captain Marvel showed up, right? Because he was whooping them. He was giving them the business, and he's mm, mm. Yeah. As you can see, he's my favorite villain of all time right about now, and you call me prisoner of the moment or whatever, but I'm going to stick by my guns on that one right now. Um, let's see. All that being said, my favorite moments, the amazing parts of the fights, the biggest like wow moments for me. The first one was the scene was with the Black Widow and Hawkeye, because I've never quite seen a couple of people fight so hard to sacrifice themselves for the other. And I thought that was just an amazing scene, a ton of emotion. I definitely know that that's a part that some people cried on. To see Scarlet down there too with the blood, I didn't want to see that. Once I realized too where they were going to Vormir and the Red Skull, he shows up and you're like, no, 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 no. You see, it's only them. No, 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 no. And then it's like only them. Who else would it be though, right? Like even if they brought someone else, it would still be sad. Who's he going to bring? His wife, his kids. Who is she going to bring? Bruce Banner? Like no, he can't die anyway, so that wouldn't even work. And he would fall down there and jump right back up there as a Hulk. Like okay, well, I guess got to go with Plan B, which would be Bruce throwing her down there, so she still ends up down there. This is terrible. I want to stop thinking about it. It's making me upset. Yeah, that scene was crazy. That was a huge wow moment. That was a huge wow moment for her to jump off like that. Because I know, just like me, a bunch of y'all probably thought that was a wrap once he shot that arrow into the ground and at her feet and made her fall. Just drop the arrow. They go slow motion as he's running towards the edge, giving her that look like, bye, tell my family I love them, and he jumps over the edge. That's like, damn, Hawkeye. And then for her to jump out like that, it was like, what? What? Yeah, that was the biggest wow moment for me. That and Pepper showing up to fight in the suit. Like everybody else who showed up was pretty much expected, except for like the students of Doctor Strange and on all the sorcerers, right? Like that part was a little unexpected and it was dope and I loved it. But the most unexpected appearance for that fight scene was Pepper. And when they showed Pepper out there, she was kicking ass. So clearly in that 5 years, she's been practicing. She's been practicing, getting it in. It's not like it's the first time we've seen her in a suit, but definitely didn't expect her to be in a suit there. But she said that is going down. My baby's in the fight for his life. And I'm going to be out there standing by his side and riding with him. And That was a huge wow moment for me as well. It was amazingly done, perfect, no complaints, no complaints. Very satisfied with the way they brought around the characters that had already died like permanent died, not disappeared with a snap, dusted as I like to call it. Um, yeah, I was very satisfied with the way they brought them back in. They brought back in Natalie Portman, even though we haven't seen her for a very long time. They brought Loki back in. I'm not like I want to know what's happening with Loki now because he like disappeared after he picked up the Tesseract. But that's bringing everybody back. I still wanted to see more of Loki. That was my guy. I wanted to see more of him, hear him talk more because he always has something funny to say, even in the face of danger. You know what I'm saying? And he's a slick motherfucker. And I know they said that we're gonna get like we might get like a show or something with more Loki, so that's cool. But I definitely wanted to see him a little bit more in the movie. Talk, bringing back Thor's mom, that was cool. He got that moment with her. You know what's the name, Agent Carter, letting Steve Rogers see her. The send off for him at the end felt deserved. He lives damn near two lives. It feels like already just one. You were in the ice for 40 years, you know. So now you come out and live the rest of your life in a different time. So you had that before life, you had the afterlife, you had this 40 years in between. So now you're gonna go back and live a comfortable life, and that's what's up. That's definitely deserved. No problem with it at all. It hurts that Tony had to die. It felt appropriate that it was him though, who did this, who was the one who had who did the snap to take Thanos out, and that was slick too. The way they pulled that off with Doctor Strange, knowing, looking at him and signaling him, this is it, this is the one. Although I wish he would have like closed his fist and made more like a solid one instead of like that one like this, because that made it look like he was doing that thing where he made the time stone appear. And so that just gave me a little bit of confusion at first, but I figured it out as I just thought about it a little bit. But yeah, at first he kind of just had his shit like this, and it made it look like he got the time stone somehow. I was like, how the fuck did he do that? But it's magic, so whatever. But yeah, man, that's my reaction to Avengers. I loved it. It was amazing. I'm gonna go see it again. Um, and maybe after that, I'll see it again. I probably won't, but I might try to find some other way to watch it, if you know what I mean. Uh, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you loved it as much as I did, and if not, that's okay too. Comment down below. Tell me what your favorite part was. Tell me what you enjoyed. What surprised you? What made you have been disappointed by? And don't forget to subscribe and all that good stuff. Holla at your boy. Follow me on Twitter. I'll see you next time. Boy. Deuce.
Yeah, it's the rap Diablo. Macho when I drop flows. Bar gets raised up. It's me and Petey Pablo.
Oh, you motherfucker, you.